Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Fantasy Typhoon here, a.k.a. The Mentalist, a.k.a. your favorite analyst. I'm on my commute. Thought I'd drop some nuggets when I got my mind on fantasy football. Like I said, I'm not digging deep like I used to, but I still got some stuff to come across my mind when I, pull up my roster and take a look at it. And when news, comes out, of course, we know Aaron Rodgers, finally, the trade is official. Aaron Rodgers is New York Jet. Woo! Now, all we got to do now is just get rid of Lamar Jackson. We can get a new news cycle going on. Aaron Rodgers is now out the news. He is a Jet. Woo, woo, woo! Gotta hear about Aaron Rodgers no more. But he's joining Robert Salah, head coach, and Daniel Hackett, offensive coordinator. Used to be the head coach of the Denver Broncos. But same system. Aaron Rodgers has been in Green Bay. Daniel Hackett was the offensive coordinator over there. So pretty much the same offense Aaron is used to. Should be the same lingo. Receivers are the one that need to learn new route concepts. Hackett's system is pretty much, you got to get open on your own. The scheme don't really help you get separation. You got to pretty much get separation on your own. So that's going to hurt Corey Davis and Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman really can't get, even though he has that speed, I don't know, for some reason you just don't see that speed on film for some reason. It's, more of a track than, in pad on game day. But, of course, like I already told you, in my redraft 1.01, I was already anticipating this trade. I already got Breece Hall as my number one pick, not Christian McCaffrey, not Austin Eckler, of course not, and not the running back for the Colts. As of right now, of course, it's changed. New information, things change. Excuse me, I got to say this again. A healthy, I repeat, a healthy Breece Hall is my 1.01 in redraft. With Aaron Rodgers in town, hopefully that's a lot more goal line opportunities, a lot more catches out the backfield. Man, Breece Hall, that dude. He's already my number one running back. I'm talking about skill-wise. But now, he's my number one as far as fantasy as well. So, those two are meeting of the minds, coming to a meeting of the minds. But, I don't know, just sitting here, just talking, just going through a little rant, so hopefully you get some stuff out of this. Now, this is Monday, April 24th, and we got the draft coming up on Thursday, first round on Thursday. Draft is in Kansas City this year, I believe. And, nothing really excites me in this draft but Bijan. That's about it. Of course, we know Bryce Young is going number one to the Panthers. What's Stroud going? Stroud is, I don't know what Stroud going before I really, get into it. Like mock drafts. I don't really do mock drafts. I don't even look at mock drafts. Mock drafts are dumb to me unless they're giving the player strengths and weaknesses. And the team they best fit. For mock draft, it was giving me like a little scouting report on the strengths and weaknesses of the players and, where they flourish at the most. Like, let's say, if you got a running back that puts his foot in the ground and gets upfield, he needs an inside-outside stretch zone is what he acclimates himself to. And, if he's not going to the Eagles, Eagles will be a fit and so forth and so on. San Francisco, so forth, so on. That type of environment is where he would flourish the best. If the mock draft isn't doing that, I don't need it. Because I'll just wait to draft that. I just need all the speculation and stuff. I don't get excited for that. That's wasting my time. Doing all this. He should go here and go there. Man, if you don't know where he's going, like Bryce Young, going to Carolina, if you can't tell me exactly where he's going, I'll just wait. Because no need to exhausting all my resources and doing this and that. Like Bijan to the rumors are Bijan to the now the new news is Bijan to the Falcons. Falcons got a whole lot more stuff than they really need. But I know it's best player available, so I'm not even paying attention to that. Until Bijan gets home, I'm not giving you any rundown on Bijan or any other player in this draft. Once they get home, oh yeah, TYPHOON coming for you. I'm gonna bring you some nuggets on how to navigate once these players gets home. But I did speak with one of my scouts, one of my real NFL scouts, and let me relay some information to you on these quarterbacks. But I'm gonna give it to you in TYPHOON's version, kind of summarized. And boy, it's pouring down out there, so you might hear rain and stuff in the background. But let me just give you a summary, TYPHOON's way of what was kind of conveyed to me. Your quarterbacks kind of go like this as far as their mental state. This is, it's what it's what I was told. Will Levis. All right, let me put it to you this way. If all quarterbacks in this draft, all notable quarterbacks in this draft, was at practice in the NFL, talking about NFL, were in practice, and the player went 10 9 routes, 10 go routes, and the quarterback missed them on all 10. Here's the response from each quarterback. Will Levis' response to me. I got this, coach. I got this. I can fix it. I got this. But he would never really go in and fix it until coach sat him down and said, like maybe week 8, said, look, Will, you still haven't fixed those discrepancies. You still haven't fixed those flaws. So here's what I'm going to do. If you come out next week with those same flaws, I'm going to go ahead and bench you. I'm going to go next man up. Then, once the deadline is put on him, then Will Levis will go out, start putting in the work, putting in the extra work. You light a fire under him, go get work done that he should have been doing in OTAs. Will Levis kind of won't get it done until it's a deadline or a threat or mandatory that he get it done. He'll do it. He's just a procrastinator and getting it done. All right, then you look at Anthony Richardson. He's thrown 10 incompletes. He won't do nothing until coach say, hey, Anthony, come here, man. Why don't you go ahead and get that receiver that you overthrowing? Why don't you get him and you come in early, come in about 3 hours before practice, and then stay 3 hours after practice and work on it. Yeah, coach, I'll do it. Absolutely, coach. I'll get it done. I'll get it done, coach. Thanks for coaching me. I need you to coach me, coach. So what I'm saying about Anthony Richardson is, he don't mind coaching. Now, all these kids are good kids. They're good players. So there's no hiccups like as far as them getting in trouble. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about their mental state right now. Whether they're a dog or not. Now, Anthony Richardson will do it. Got no problem with doing it. Was asked of him. It's just a simple fact that you got to ask him. You know, like your kids, room is junky. You shouldn't have to tell them to clean up. They should see that themselves and, you know what, it's time me to go clean the room up. Or, you know, I got homework. Let me go ahead and do my homework. But, you know, you got to tell them to do it. That's Anthony Richardson. He'll do it. You just got to tell him to do it. And C.J. Stroud will be like he just overthrew the guy 10 times. C.J. Stroud will go, hey, coach, what I'm doing wrong, coach? Coach be like, hey, your stance, your feet are not far enough apart. You're not throwing from your torso. You don't have enough torque. You're using too much arm. You don't have enough torque, or whatever the coach sees and tells him. Now, if that makes sense to Stroud, whatever the coach feedback is, if it makes sense to Stroud will be like, okay, coach, I'll get it done. Or if Stroud say to himself, man, it don't make no sense, man. What coach talking about? Coach don't know what he's talking about. And Stroud will kind of buck up. If Stroud don't think you know what you're talking about. If your leadership don't make sense, or if your feedback, or if your coaching, or if your plays, he's gonna ask questions on every play, which is good. Well, why do I go from touchdown to check down? Why can't I go the other way? Which is nothing wrong with it, but your answers need to make sense to him. If not, you'll lose it. Now, Bryce Young just came in. He overthrew the wide receiver 10 times. Bryce Young, hey, after practice, Bryce Young will be like, hey, coach, look, you mind if I keep that receiver after practice? I overthrew him 10 times. I need to kind of work on that. You mind if I keep him after practice a little bit? We work on that. And I need him a little bit before practice. We're going to tighten it up until we get this right. So Bryce Young is going to get it right on his own without being told. Bryce Young is proactive. Bryce Young also has one of those photographic minds, like Sean McVay. Sean McVay can tell you the third down play and what happened in his Pop Warner League when he was 15 years old. Sean McVay has a telegraphic memory. He don't forget nothing. He can see everything. He can tell you, well, when I was with the Washington Redskins, that was a third down and 2 play that we called. He still remembers. In the second quarter of the 4th game of the season, we was on the road in Buffalo, and it was 72 degrees out. He'll tell you all of it. That's kind of, now, Bryce doesn't have that vivid of a memory, but Bryce is a quick study. He's a quick learner. He can bring it back up quick. He remembers stuff. He remembers plays. He remembers what happens. It sticks with him, is what I'm saying about Bryce Young. And then he has to proact. He's proactive as far as his mistakes. So that was interesting when those facts was given to me. And this was before the S2 came out. So I already had an idea that he was going to do good on the S2, that cognizant test before that even came to light. I already kind of knew that he was going to blow that out of the water for the simple fact that, even though that's not a deal breaker, it's not an end all be all, but this is what the S2 was explained to me. If you do bad on the S2, there's no quarterback that has ever done good with a bad S2. So C.J. Stroud, I'm not knocking him on that. I'm not saying that's whether he's going to do good or bad. I'm not using that as a guide. It is a piece to the puzzle, but it's not the whole puzzle. C.J. Stroud a bust just because he scored 18%. I'm not going that far with it, but it is a snapshot, into what's happening. But they say on that test, if you do bad, 9 times there's a strong chance you're not going to be a high-level quarterback. But if you do good, that's not confirmation that you are a high-skilled quarterback. Even though Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, all did 87 and above on that test. But that's not an indicator. Justin Fields did like a 90-something on the test. Justin Fields ain't blowing it out the water. So, watch that test. It's not an end-all, be-all, but it is something. It's something to file, though. You need to file it. That is information. Remember, we're putting together a complete puzzle. It's not just film study and then, all right, I've made my decision all film study only. Then you got to look at the completion percentage. Then you got to look at his mental state. Then you got to look at the plays, whether they were schemed or whether he did it on his talent. You got to kind of divide that. Then you got to critique the player on the hard games. Like against the Bamas, the LSUs, the Georgias. When they playing those type teams, you don't have to look at all the tape. You just got to look at the tape that matters. When they're playing those powerhouses, that's the tape you gravitate towards as opposed to playing something like somebody like Georgia State. So, all right, it's Typhoon. I was just driving by. Just, we got the NFL draft coming up. So, like I said, once the draft is over, once these guys get home, Typhoon going to bring you the goods. Once again, it's the Fantasy Typhoon, a.k.a. The Mentalist, a.k.a. your favorite analyst. We out of here.